Alright, let's get this volume down. What's going on, everybody? It's Adrian from over here at Pipedreamhookah, and I wanted to do a little gaming for the AM Hookah podcast channel. I did not announce this, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to come in, but this is a game I'm playing a crap load of it. It's Magic the Gathering Arena, which, for any of you who don't know, I play a lot of Magic, and this is going to be the... It's in beta right now, so basically it's Magic the Gathering. It's not like Hearthstone's interface, where everything's like from 2018. For any of you guys who play Magic online, for like the two of you that I know that do, it still looks like it's straight out of 1998, so I really like what they've done here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through a competitive league, and we will see how well we do. I'm playing Mono Blue Tempo, so let's go ahead and take a look at the deck we're playing for anyone who doesn't know. Okay. So here is the deck right here. We've got 21 islands, which is pretty much standard for the deck. And it's just the standard Mono Blue Temple deck. 4 Mistcloak Heralds, 4 Siren Storm Tamers, 4 Curious Obsession, 4 Dive Down, and then we've got Nightveil Sprites at 2 of, 2 Warcat Marauder, which is a card that I think people should have been playing right from the beginning. Merfolk Trickster is a 4 of, one of the best cards in the deck. Charter Course, Disperse, Essence Scatter. There's supposed to be 4 Wizard's Retort, but I do not have enough of them yet to play it, so I'm using 2 Disperse. 4 Tempest Djinn, which is like one of the better cards in the deck. Big win condition, and then some exclusive mages. My sideboard is not ready. I've just got a Sleep and 3 Negates. But the deck's pretty good. I was able to win the last league. 5-0 it rather, with a no sideboard deck, for any of you who don't know. For any of you guys who don't play Magic, don't worry about it too much. I'm going to be playing a card game live for you guys, and smoking some hookah. For any of you who are wondering what I'm smoking, it's going to be the, let's see if I can get it to show up, the Matte Pear Simple Ball in white. In the bowl, I've got some Tangier's Orange Soda and Cane Mint, and yeah, Provost on top of 3 Titanium Flats, for any of you guys who want to know about the tobacco. But let's go ahead and play some games. Alright. Competitive constructed. I'm going to get some of the sound from my desktop down just so you can hear what I'm saying. I'm going to choose to pay 1,000 coins. The last one I did win, so you can get like 2,000 coins, which is good for 2 more goes at a competitive. And I'm going to see if I can 5-0 it again, because this deck is pretty strong, although I'm not the best at this deck yet. Alright. So we're all good to go. Let's see what we play against first. I see that there's 3 watching, so hello everyone that's watching. Sorry, with my current setup, Matt's not controlling it. Obviously, he's not here, so I'm trying to like control everything and do this, and I'm new to that. But let's see here. I go first, and my hand is a copy of Dive Down, 2 Siren Storm Tamers, Charter Course, Disperse, and Tempest Djinn. I almost want to keep it. If I had a second land, it would be just about perfect, but I think we can get a better 6. So we are going to mulligan our hand. This hand isn't quite as good, but I get to play a 1 and 2 drop, and hopefully I can scry something relevant to the top of my deck. Charter Course is exactly what we're looking for. So as soon as my opponent looks like they mulled this 6 as well. For any of you who don't play, a mulligan is where you don't like your opening hand, so you put it back in your deck and draw 6 cards instead of 7, and you can keep doing it again, but every time you do, you have to draw 1 less card. So land for turn, Siren Storm Tamer. Just about the second best opening the deck has. The best opening the deck has is probably just Mistcloak Herald, because it can't be blocked. Alright, so combat, we're going to get in with the Siren Storm Tamer. And then we're going to play a land, and we're going to Charter Course right now, actually. Get some card advantage going. I wonder why my audio is echoing. Matt, how bad is it? So we're just going to get in with that, play a land out, and then I think it's fine to play the Warcat Marauder here because I can protect it with the Siren Storm Tamer, provided it doesn't get countered. And it is countered. So that's a bad spot to be. We're playing against Grixis something. Ooh, Thought Arrangement. So we're going to go down to having 3 basic islands in hand. Yeah, Matt, how bad is the echo? Alright, so unfortunately we're not drawing much juice. So that happens to be stream, it's like Darth Vader style. Well, I'll just be Darth Vader for a bit because I have no clue how to fix it. I got my desktop audio and my mic audio on. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Alright, juice? Not really. We're on the mono Siren Storm Tamer 20 turn clock plan right now. Yeah, Matt, could it be that I had desktop audio and mic audio going at the same time? He's going to Notion Ring, which takes it down to a 14 turn clock from here. He's going to lose 2 life. Ideally, we can try to hit something like a Tempest Djinn here, because at this point it would be a 6/4 flyer. And I have Dive Down and Siren Storm Tamer to back it up. So none of that, but we do have this Curious Obsession. Matt, I'll do that right now. Desktop audio mute. Tell me if that helps. Combat, gonna get in 4/2. Damage, very cool. So Curious Obsession is gonna let me draw a card every single time that I hit with the creature that it's equipped with. So obviously it's best on Siren Storm Tamer and something like Mist Cloaked Herald, which can't be blocked at all. And I just drew another one. So there's a chance I'm supposed to just Curious Obsession this and go all in on the try to outcard advantage my opponent using Dive Down to protect the Siren Storm Tamer plan. Eldest Reborn would be really bad here. Yeah, Matt, let me know if that helped. I did mute it. Although there's some sweet sounds coming out of this game, so that's a bummer. So just a Dream Eater. That's kind of awkward, but luckily for us, they're going to Surveil 4 first, which happens. And then when he goes to target to bounce my Siren Storm Tamer, I am just going to dive it down. And then I'll probably disperse the Dream Eater, hoping to find an Essence Scatter or a Wizard's Retort, which will counter the Dream Eater on the way back down. So we're going to dive down its trigger. He's trying to bounce my Siren Storm Tamer, which will eliminate both Curious Obsessions I have on it. And that's a problem. And he's going to move to combat, and then before his turn's up, I'm going to go ahead and disperse this Dream Eater. Didn't do anything. Well, thank you, Matt, and I will be looking more into the problem. Alright, combat. Let's see if we can't get 2 good cards. Alright, trigger this bad boy twice. Essence Scatter? No, Merfolk Trickster, that's not quite good enough. Draw again. Ah, that's not quite good enough. So we could hit a snag here. That Dream Eater is going to be a problem. Maybe he flashes in the Dream Eater. We're able to Merfolk Trickster tap down, play another Merfolk Trickster, and just try to clock him. Ritual of Suit. So that's going to resolve. We go to combat and combat. Yeah, man, this is a much more complicated game than Hearthstone. I've played both. I much prefer Magic the Gathering. So we're going to flash in Merfolk Trickster at the end of turn, see if he has anything to say about that. Maybe Essence Scatter or some type of... Yeah, he's going to Essence Scatter, so we can't deal with that. But this Merfolk Trickster does put him on like a 5-turn clock. If I can draw a Curious Obsession, I'm in a really good spot. Nope, it looks like we're probably going to lose game 1. Luckily, I've got some negates to bring in game 2. So this is very bad for us. Moment of Craving, he's going to play a Nickel Bolas. That's, yeah, we're in trouble. So we have to discard our last card. And all we've got here is a Merfolk Trickster. We're just going to end the turn. He's going to come in at me. If he plays a 7th land, and, well, Well, I guess if he tries to flip his Nicol Bolas, I could Merfolk Trickster and take away that ability. But the ability would still be on the stack. Yeah, we are just going to flash in Merfolk Trickster. Yeah, Matt, they are totally different games. And they're both good. I've just been playing Magic forever, so I'm partial to it. Alright, so let's get that. Ah, and there's a Dream Eater. We're going to concede to the Dream Eater. That's just a little bit too much. I wasn't able to out-tempo him. The idea of a tempo deck, Matt, is to really abuse our opponent's ability to keep their legs on the ground. We want to shake them up the first few turns, getting in damage, gaining card advantage, and then stop them from doing anything meaningful in the late game while I just kill them before they can get their legs. So we definitely want negates, all three of them. My sideboard is not complete, so that could be a problem moving forward. See you later, Matt. Take it easy, buddy. What are the bad cards in this deck? Nightville Sprite doesn't feel like the best card to me in this matchup. Wizard's Retort's pretty good. I think Disperse might be coming out here, especially since it's not even supposed to be in the deck to begin with. And then we will probably take out a copy of... I like Exclusion Mage just because sometimes he's playing Nicol Bolas and stuff, and it should let me get the tempo to be able to beat his face in. Let's take out this Nicol Sprite, and then try running the deck like this. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can do something here. Curious Obsession, Wizard's Retort, Exclusive Mage. This isn't the best hand either, although good land spread. I wish it was like a third spell and only 3 lands, but I don't know if mulliganing this is the best thing, although you might want to... This game is going to go long. Yeah, perhaps I need to get a 1-drop. It's mulligan. So we've got no 1-drops, but we can scry. We've got a copy of Nightville Sprite, which is probably one of the worst creatures in our decks in this matchup, but we have to keep it, try to get a land on top. There it is. Alright. Yeah, we might end up losing our first match, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Alright, let's get a Nightville Sprite out. And if he doesn't kill this on his turn, he's in trouble. And he kills it, so that's no good. Alright, so we are going to pass the turn here, holding up Negate and Merfolk Trickster. Let's go ahead and try the Trickster here. Maybe an Essence Scatter or a Sabotage. Yeah, Essence Scatter here. Alright, we've got lots of ways to draw cards. This one's hard. We could Charter Course to try to hit our third land drop, but I think we're just going to pass the turn and try to interact with him. Nicol Bolas would be really bad, but he doesn't have the mana for it, thankfully. Alright, cool, that's a third land. We're just going to keep passing it now that we have shields up. Notion Rain. We will attempt to negate Notion Rain. Fourth land. That's pretty good. If we can start to draw creatures, that'd be great. Do we want to use Charter Course to gain tons of card advantage? Or do we want to do it now? Because Wizard's Retort is pretty good, especially if he tries to play a Dream Eater on his next turn. We're just going to pass. It doesn't look good. We've gotten to a point in the game where we can get just completely overpowered. We are going to retort the Auto Rager. There's an Essence Scatter. Let's go ahead and Charter Course now. We want to discard a copy of, honestly, probably just Curious Obsession. There's a Tempest Gin. But we're going to be casting it into a card full of a handful of 4 cards. No way to interact if he counters it. Although at this point, I don't think I can get the game go too much longer, and he might have Chemist's Insight, and I think it's just better to make him counter this and not cast Chemist's Insight now. Although casting this puts me wide open to a Dream Eater or a Nickel Bullet, so I think I am just going to pass. And try to keep building up some cards, because I can interact them, which I want to keep doing. We're just going to keep passing it. We're going to try to run him over with like a cheap creature and protecting it, and then Curious Assessing it, and just trying to all at one time just gain a bunch of advantage. I think this is the goal here. Hopefully they stop making land drops here, that would be great. Alright, Siren Storm Tamer, we'll start here. And we will pass. He's probably going to try to kill the Storm Tamer, and I think we do want to protect it. Fungal infection. Let's dive down here. So he would like to Moment of Craving. Nothing we can do about that. That fizzles, so at least he doesn't get the 1/1. He's got 3 cards in hand. Here it's really hard to say what we're supposed to do. But I think I need to expose this Tempest Gin, just to keep making him play his hand. We've got a lot we can draw into here. So there's the Scatter. We're going to resolve Scatter. Hopefully it doesn't cast like Chemist's Insight. Okay, that's good. We're maintaining some semblance of card advantage. Mystical Herald, we just need to get this out now. Combat, end turn. Hopefully he's out of interaction, but I typically play control decks, so I can tell you he's probably not. He's probably going to kill it at my end step. There it is. Okay, so we've gotten him down to a very low amount of cards in hand. So here we go, Storm Tamer. Alright, let's see what he's going to do here. Alright, we can Essence Scatter and Nickel Bullets, thankfully. Ritual of Suit happens. So we've got them down to 0 cards, and there's another Storm Tamer, so you have to draw pretty hot, but I think we might be able to escape this unless he draws some type of serious interaction. Let's see what he does. Nothing. So we just go for it here. There's no reason. We're not going to be winning a game where we can kill this anyway without drawing hot ourselves. So we are going to double down on Curious Obsession. There's a small window here. We need to take it. There it is. Take both triggers. And all of a sudden we are in a much better spot. We now have card advantage and a creature on the board. Can't be Moment of Craving. That's going to happen, unfortunately. So I think he's going to grab our Tempest Gin. Yep, there's the Tempest Gin. He's going to go ahead and scry. Or Surveil. Updated scry. I wonder what that last card in hand is. It's a land, so here is our opening to get work done. Looks like he opted to keep that card on top. We're looking for Wizard's Retort or an Geek here. A lot of land. We don't need another one of those. We definitely didn't need 2 more. We could have kept a Ritualist Suit on top. That's totally possible. Although it could be an Eldest Reborn too. We're going to play our Tempest Gin out here and hope it wasn't a Ritual of Suit. It was just a thought eraser. So we've got him down to a two-turn clock now. So let's... Ooh, I should have played my land first. That was a mistake on my part. But we're still probably got this at this point. If we draw on the gate, it's over. There's an island. There it is. Yeah, we just won the game. We'll pass to him. Nothing he can do is going to be quite good enough. Alright, we're going to game 3. So we don't really want to change anything. We're on the draw. I really wish we had the other counter spells we're supposed to play out of this deck, but unfortunately I don't have enough of the common wild cards yet to be able to gain access to Syncopate and Disdainful Stroke. And we're much worse on the draw against these control decks. An ideal hand would be like Mistcloak Herald, Dive Down, and Curious Obsession to start gaining some really early advantage, and him not have something like a Moment of Craving. In fact, if he does, maybe we wait a turn to cast our Mistcloak Herald, just so we can dive it down when he tries to interact. But we'll have to see what our opening hand is. Let's see here. Anybody watching? One person. Hello, one person that's watching. My opponent goes first. I've got Mistcloak Herald, Dive Down. Should have muted that. This is hard, but we have most of the things we need. We just need to draw on the land. I don't want to go down on cards if I don't absolutely have to, and I think this is worth the risk. Although most people will probably tell you never keep a one-lander. But I think I'm going to keep it here, hoping I can draw one land. We'll be able to protect the Mistcloak Herald for a turn. If we can draw into just one land, like we can play on 2 lands for a little while, so we're going to keep it. If we were on the play, we absolutely couldn't keep this. Alright, so that's lucky. We are just going to... I think I'm going to expose the Mistcloak Herald here, just because I don't have a Curious Obsession anyway. So this would be a fine thing to let him interact with. Bring him down to 5 cards in hand. Yeah, there it is. And now we're getting unreasonably lucky, which isn't the worst thing. I mean, it's fine. So we could just cast the Storm Tamer here. And I think we're supposed to, just because we want to use the Merfolk Trickster as a combat trick when we can, because we know our opponent's playing creatures. So let's just cast the Storm Tamer and pass. Thief of Sanity, that's not good. Alright, we got the Curious Obsession. I mean, at this point... this is really hard. I've got the Djinn. I think I actually want to Merfolk Trickster that Thief of Sanity into a tap position. Curious Obsession, get in, and just draw a card, make them interact with me on their next turn. That way, if they have Ritual of Suit, they have to eliminate their own Thief of Sanity, which would be ideal. That just eliminates our ability to dive down, which is a problem. It's very interesting. Maybe we take a turn off and just flash in the Merfolk Trickster. End of turn. Yeah, that seems correct. We're going to do that. We'll just end it. We're unfortunately going to be taking a hit from Thief of Sanity. Maybe, you know what, maybe we don't do that. Yeah, let's dive down the Storm Tamer right now. That was interesting. That was very interesting that he wanted Moment of Craving first. Maybe he thought I was going to block? I don't know. But I wouldn't block the Thief of Sanity. I mean, now I will. Because it's easy. My Siren Storm Tamer will not die. Does this have Death Touch? It does not. So here, I'm fine flashing in Merfolk Trickster and attempting to tap down Thief of Sanity. He's down to 3 cards, so he does have the Syncopate, so that will be exiled. That's unfortunate. Let's see what we can do here. We have a Wizard's Retort. That's not the worst thing I've seen. Maybe we are supposed to just take the turn off, plan to Wizard's Retort if he tries to interact with the Siren Storm Tamer, and if he attacks, we can hit him back the next turn with a Curious Obsession, trying to draw more lands. Because one thing I could do, I could just run up the Tempest Djinn, but I'm leaving myself very exposed, so I think we're just going to pass the turn. We are going to choose no blockers. We're going to allow him to hit us. And now he has a card exiled from my library that he can cast at any time. So here, we just have to go for it. See what he has to say about it. Luckily, we have a Wizard's Retort. What is going on, Gustav? So they're thinking pretty hard about this. So I'm going to be allowed to get in, it looks like. Unless he took a Merfolk Trickster from my deck. He did not. Essence Scatter's pretty reasonable. We just have to pass the turn here. We have card advantage. And we have interaction. We wish we had played an extra land last turn, but that is okay. He's going to cast Thought Erasure. I might just want to counter that, or maybe I let him expose it. I'm not sure. I might want to be able to hold up Essence Scatter or something, because he's going to try to kill my Siren Storm Tamer. The question is, do I hide my information or not? I think we're going to try to hide information. Alright, so I assume he's going to go for the Siren Storm Tamer now. Oh, he's got a Curious Obsession. Okay. So we're doing this. So that Thief of Sanity is going to gain him some mad card advantage, which is not good. Let's see if there's anything at all we can do about this. Oh, there's a start. We did need the extra land drop. Let's take that action. Tempest Djinn. We need to just cast this Tempest Djinn here, unfortunately. It resolves, so that's pretty good. Maybe he tries to play like Nicol Bolas or something this turn. That'd be great. He doesn't know about the 2 Essence Scatters in my hand, so I'm interested to see what he or she would like to do to my current board state. They're thinking pretty hard. They can't just attack him with this Thief of Sanity. They would need to have some type of removal. But if they don't attack, they're going to lose Curious Obsession. Search for Azcanta is fine. I mean, it's not great. They've got an insane card advantage engine now. And that thing is just 3 turns away from flipping at the latest. So we have to block this. It's probably going to moment of craving my Tempest Djinn now. But we couldn't let him get any more advantage. We have to maintain the advantage we have. So he would like to cast the Night Veil Sprite. I'm going to Essence Scatter that. So this puts us in a pretty good spot, honestly. Let's go ahead and get in with the team. Get an extra card. Dive down is very important. We're not going to commit any more to the board, just because a Ritual of Suit would be very bad. Gus, what are you doing, man? This Sunday afternoon. My Hookah's about dead. Yeah, there's the Ritual of Suit. That was our biggest fear. So now we're going to take some time to reset. But at least we're not super far behind. So we're just going to cast a Tempest Djinn at this point and pass. We've got another one on the back burner. And next turn when we attack, we will be able to chart course. So where are we here? He's going to flip this search, which is going to be a problem, probably. Alright, 3 cards in hand. Can he interact with Tempest Djinn is the question. Because if he tries to, we're going to dive down. Cast down? Thought Erasure. We have to let that resolve. I could have dived down my Tempest Djinn here, but I think he'll probably take the other Tempest Djinn. I'm not sure. Maybe diving down was the correct move. Although if he wants to resolve something like a Nicol Bolas, it might be a good idea to Essence Scatter. So he didn't take the Essence Scatter, and now he wants to cast a Nicol Bolas, which is great news. I wonder why he did that. Let's go ahead and hit him. In the face. Bring him down to 4, and this is going to be a good opening to just go ahead and chart a course. Couple Siren's Farm Tamers. It might be correct to drop 1. And then end the turn. He'd have to have a Ritual Suit or something. We're in a very good spot here. Yep, that's just the game. So there goes that one. That was a... I don't think we were very favored to win that one, but we got very lucky. Alright, next round. I need another hookah, but mine is dead and I cannot leave to get a new one. Maybe after this game I'll take a second and go make one. So normally you don't have to wait very long for games, but in these competitive leagues, they're going to match you up with someone who won their last game, so it takes a little longer to find an opponent. I'm also fairly certain they try to match you up with someone with a similar rank as you. So I'm Silver 4. I think we're going to play against a Silver 4. Although that's just Bronze 1, so that's... It doesn't really mean anything, though. It just means I've probably been playing a little longer than him. Let's see, we got... Opponent goes first. I have a Merfolk Trickster, 2 Dive Downs, and an Exclusive Mage. This is not an ideal hand, but we're going to keep it. It has a lot of the parts we're looking for, and we're on the draw, so we're going to see an extra card. So let's just keep this hand and see where it goes, because we have no clue what opponent's on either. And yeah, thanks, Gus. Yeah, I really wanted to start getting into games. I think I'm going to open a second channel just to do some games, because I really do like playing, especially Magic the Gathering. But I thought I'd start here. And my opponent did mulligan to 6. How is he going to scry? Hopefully to the bottom. Scrying is when you mulligan, you get to scry, and you look at the top card of your library, you decide to keep it on top or bottom. He went bottom, which means the top card of his library is unknown, and the one he had wasn't very good. We did not want to draw a land here. But the Trickster should provide us some tempo advantage. That's a forest, so I think that our Tricksters and Exclusion Mages are going to be quite good. Trickster was very good here. So if he plays something like a Jade Light Ranger, we'll be able to tap it down. He does nothing, so we're going to flash Merfolk Trickster now. See if he can interact with it. He can't. Let's get in. And that'll be turn. If he doesn't do anything this turn, we're just going to flash on the Trickster, the second Trickster, and bring him to, who would that be? Like a 5-turn clock. So we would like to Moment of Craving. We are happy to dive down. That's going to fizzle. We would like to attack. You would like to end combat. And before my turn, how about another Trickster? Bring it to a 5-turn clock. Curious Obsession is great. Unfortunately, we don't really want to use it on a Trickster, but we can't really wait too long. So let's get in, get some card advantage. And we'll be able to protect one with Dive Down. Hopefully he doesn't play a Ritual Suit, that would be very bad. pretty detrimental to our game plan. That card's very good against this deck. We would love to have access to negate or something, but we don't. But we do have this dive down. So he's going to be in a bad spot here. I'm going to see 5, so he's on a 3-turn clock. And if I draw some more juice, we're going to be in good shape. He does have 4 cards in hand, so we need to be careful about overcommitting to the board, because he plays a lot of removal, which makes me think he could be on Ritual of Suit. We have 4 lands in hand, which is not very good. But it is what it is. Let's see what opponent does. Maybe they play a creature? I don't know what they're going to do. It's impossible to tell. Alright, there it is. He finally gets the Vraska's Contempt in. Alright, well, here we go. It's a pretty lucky draw. Show me a Wizard's Retort. Nope, just another island. Yeah, we'll pass the turn. We played 21 lands, so seeing this many lands is not normally what happens. But sometimes it does happen. This Ravenous Chupacabra is going to be a problem. Normally I would Exclusion Mage something, but Exclusion Maging a Ravenous Chupacabra with an ETB like that back to the hand is usually very, very, very bad. And we're going to draw lands all game. Let's go ahead and Exclusion Mage the Lemur Elves off of the board. Make them recast it. And hopefully we can find some more juice. Off the top. Let me see here. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's like half my land. How many spells have we seen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 spells total. That's pretty good. Okay, so he did take a hit off that Demon Lord Basilnok. Night Veil's great. Alright, let's go ahead and commit to the board. Does this thing have lifelink? It doesn't. No attackers. Ideally, we want to draw another Exclusion Mage here or a Merfolk Trickster and get in for the last bit of damage. That's going to be an issue. And the Gates and Sleep, I think, are all going to come in. It's coming in. Alright. So, we are not favored to win this game at this point. Siren Storm Tamer. Not quite good enough, but if we can hit like an Exclusion Mage or something after, or you know what would be good is a Merfolk Trickster. We're going to need to find a way to get 6 points of damage in if we're going to win this game. And I think that's going to be pretty difficult. Because he's got us pinned down with a pretty quick 3-turn clock here. And any spell is going to make it a 4-turn clock, I think. Or a 2-turn clock. Ugh, that's not good. So I guess I'll get rid of the Storm Tamer. Probably should have done the Exclusion Mage, but maybe we want to block a Chupacabra here or something. I don't think there's any way out of this reasonably. We'd have to draw very, very, very well. I think we are going to block the Chupacabra. The Djinn... Well, I mean, he's not going to be able to come in with the Demon Lord. But 1 kill spell will do it. But if he doesn't have a kill spell and I draw into like an Exclusion Mage, I can just kill him. But he draws a kill spell. We will concede to that. Yeah, Travis, what's up? Yeah, I know there's an echo. Matt was telling me about it. It's something to do with the way I'm streaming it. I'm going to have to, let me see here. You know, tell me if this helps it. I'm going to take off the audio input capture and see if that helps at all. So that game was rough, for sure. We want our negates and our sleep because he's playing a lot of kill spells and a lot of ways to block my guys. So the sleep might give us enough tempo advantage to be able to actually win the game. Again, Disperse I just don't think is very good. It's just a placeholder until I get 2 more Wizard's Retort. And then, let me see, I brought in 4 cards, so I need to bring out 4. I think that it's the same thing with the Night Veil Sprite. It's just not going to provide enough advantage. And we'll run it back like that. Yeah, Chris, Magic's easy, man. Just got to practice. Yeah, let me know if... oh, it's either you or Germs. Oh, what's up, Jeremy? Or whoever the hell it is. What's going on, buddy? Tell me if this fixes the echo. I go first. I have a Curious Obsession, Dive Down, Essence Scatter, and Trickster. So this hand's almost good. If I had a 1-drop, it would be perfect. But this has me playing behind the ball a little bit. But I don't think it's bad enough to mulligan, so I'm going to keep it. That changed it. Thank you, Gus. Hopefully that does the job. So we're just going to go land go. I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to Moment of Craving my Merfolk Trickster when it comes down. So I might even wait a turn to play it. I have no clue yet. Overgrown Tomb, pay 2, is it going to duress me? Nope, just a Lemorelves. Okay, so that's really good. Mistcloaked Herald. This should take us a lot of the way. He's going to play another Lemorelves. We're going to resolve that. And then he's going to attack, I assume with the Lemorelves. I would have actually attacked there, just because it's free damage. He knows I'm not going to block with the Mistcloaked Herald. Alright, I get to go now. So, he probably wants to Moment of Craving on my Mistcloaked Herald, but we need to start making some action. Here we go. Hopefully he just doesn't cast a... Well, I guess Eldest Reborn, if I draw on the gate, I could remedy that. Also, Merfolk Trickster, I'd be able to sacrifice that, so I think I'm just going to ship the turn. Oh, what do you mean? Like the delay, like the 10-second delay, I think is what YouTube has? So this is outstanding. He would like to cast Ravenous Chupacabra. He would like to attempt to target Mistcloaked Herald. I'm going to dive down. I imagine he should attack with the Lemorelves here. It seems like a strict misplay to not do that. Well, misplay city, baby. Let's get in for another 2, see if we can't draw some interaction. That's not interaction. We could just play out the Djinn, but I think we want to protect it because he is playing so much kill magic. So I think, yeah, I already played land. I'll just pass the turn. Yeah, it might be longer than that. Like, I assume you're timing it based on how I'm responding to your comments. So, Vraska's Contempt isn't something we can interact with, unfortunately. So it's going to resolve. Do we want to Essence Scatter or Lemorelves? That's kind of hard here. I don't know if he's going to make a 4th land drop, so that's what makes it interesting. I think we will just Essence Scatter. Yeah, this is probably a pretty rough matchup just because of the sheer amount of interaction he has against me. And I'm missing a lot of my sideboard cards. Alright, Mistcloaked Herald, Tempest Djinn. All attack, get in there. And let's just play our hand out. I don't think he's playing Ritual of Suit with all these low drop creatures. We don't have a bigger window than that. He's got a relatively small hand size. Okay, Vraska's Contempt's no good. But hopefully you've played down enough of this hand where we can start to draw out of this. Honestly, just a Curious Obsession would be fine. Exclusion Mage isn't the worst thing. It's not really what we want. But we are just going to get in for 1. Maybe 2. Maybe we want him to block. I do have tempo advantage. We're going to get in with everything. See if he would like to block. Because my clock currently is much faster than his. Vraska Relic Seeker. That's not good for us. We're probably going to end up losing this game. I imagine he wants to destroy a creature. Yeah, there it is. Now, if... Siren Storm Tamer and Exclusion Mage. We are going to try to come in at Vraska. Ooh, I messed that up. I still don't know how to use this matrix, which is not good. And here, I don't think we're going to win this game anyway. But let's bounce a Lemar Elf just to put some power on the board. Because you never know, maybe we hit a Curious Obsession and we can start to come back into the game. But that's probably not going to be the case. Alright, let's see what opponent does. Alright, I imagine they'll want to play their Lemar Elves, make a 2-2. That's a Ritual of Soot, so that's very bad. So they do play Ritual of Soot, which is very unfortunate. Make a Pirate, play a Lemar Elves. So that's a land. We're not going to be able to come back from that, so we're going to concede this. We can take one loss in a league, so. Those hands weren't particularly good. So we'll see if we can't get something a little bit better. So yeah, ideally with this deck you want to be making a 1-drop and then blossing it up with Curious Obsession with like a dive down or a Siren Storm Tamer to protect it, gaining very early card advantage, and then just kind of overwhelming your opponent by bouncing their creatures and tapping them down at weird spots so they can't really interact with you in any meaningful way, and then you're able to win the game by just not allowing your opponent to get their feet on the ground and gain any of their engines. But those games we weren't really able to do it. We were able to win game 2, but we did not win game 1. Or 3. Okay. Opponent goes first. I've got no creatures. We have to mulligan this. We got a Storm Tamer, Charter Course, Curious Obsession. We're going to keep this with hopes to scry an island to the top. So that's a Curious Obsession. That is not what we want. We need to be island. Watergrave tapped. Okay. So, if our next draw is an island, we're going to be in decent shape. Unless they're able to interact with the Siren Storm Tamer. With their mana, they should be able to. But we did draw an island. We could just Curious Obsession here, but I think we're going to save that and try to Charter Course. It might even make sense to just use Merfolk Trickster. I'm not sure. You know what? Let's drop Night Veil Sprite. I think this is the only window where it makes sense. Syncopate, okay. Not interacting with Siren Storm Tamer makes me feel weird. Let's combat, attack. I'll attack. One attacker. Damage. So we got a few options here. We can Charter Course now, or we could Curious Obsession after the fact since they didn't interact with it. I think one of our best plays might be to just Merfolk Trickster because they could have... Well, they used a Syncopate. I doubt they're playing Negate, so maybe we just need to Charter Course right now. That probably makes a lot of sense. Let's try it. I doubt they're playing Negate in the main board. So we were able to do that. We got access to another island and a dive down, which is going to make this Siren Storm Tamer seem very good. Radical Idea. I don't like Radical Idea in a control deck. I much prefer just Chemist's Insight. Maybe Anticipate if you're really looking for card selection. Alright, so it looks like I'm certainly going to be getting in with a bloused Siren Storm Tamer. What I mean when I say bloused is it's just like dressed up with Curious Obsession. So we're going to try to Curious Obsession. Do you have interaction? If you don't, this game might get out of your hands pretty quickly. Bring him down to 16. Trigger Storm Tamers. Bloused ability, draw a card. I think we've already played our 4th land we have. There's nothing we need to do now, so we're just going to pass. We've got Dive Down. Trickster's going to tap down any meaningful creature they play next turn. They're playing Sultai colors, which is green, blue, and black. I'm not exactly sure what that means. So we could flash in our Trickster at the end of turn, but I have a suspicion this dude's playing Ritual of Suit. So we're going to ride the Storm Tamer and gain card advantage for as many turns as we can. So we're definitely diving down here. And he didn't respond to the dive down, which means I'm getting in for 2 and drawing an extra card. Ideally, a Wizard's Retort. That would be a great draw here. Just another Trickster, but that's not the worst thing, to be honest. End it. Essence Scatter. I'm trying to gauge how many creatures this guy plays. He's probably going to discard a card to Radical Idea. Yep, it's just a Sinister Sabotage, which has probably outlived its usefulness. It's a 3-drop counterspell, cancel. Plus you get to Surveil 1. So it's pretty good, but at this point in the game, I don't think he's going to get a whole ton of use out of it. Is he just going to pass it to me? Letting me draw this many cards is probably not in his best interest. So he's going to upkeep Moment of Craving. We're going to activate his ability. Just so he doesn't gain 2 life. That will fizzle. And then we'll draw for turn. Another island. So we're just going to pass the turn. We've got 2 Tricksters. We'll play 1 out at the end of his turn. See if he has any responses. A Tempest Djinn and a Dive Down, or a Tempest Djinn and another Siren Storm Tamer would be outstanding. Let's do a Trickster. We could do another Trickster. We're not going to do that, though. I don't want to play too hard onto the board right now, especially drawing all these Tricksters. It's very good. Let's see if it hits. Alright, so right now he's on a 6-turn clock. If at the end of his next turn I flash in another Trickster, it's got the potential to be a 3-turn clock. If I flash in 2 Tricksters, it's a 2-turn clock, but then I'm so exposed to Ritual of Suit. And this guy is drawing a lot of cards, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just has a Ritual of Suit. He hasn't played land yet. Maybe we overexpose now. That's a hard call, because he's probably going to Thought Erasure one of my Merfolk Tricksters out, giving me access to only 2. If he has a single target removal, my 1 Trickster's probably not going to do the job. We're a little bit behind. Let's flash in both Tricksters. And now Thought Erasure is going to resolve. He's going to get my Essence Scatter, which I have a feeling is going to be a very good card in the matchup anyway. Now, land Ritual of Suit, we're almost ready to scoop at that point. He did not go land Ritual of Suit, so we're going to get in with the team. And we're going to end the turn. I'm not going to expose the fact that I drew another island. I suspect he wants to cast Ritual. He's passing the turn. Wizard's Retort, please? Nope, just a Phrastus Contempt. Okay. Well, we're not going to expose the fact that we've been flooding out. Keep him on that good old 2-turn clock. Have 2 unknown cards in hand. Hopefully he tries to play around something that doesn't matter. That's not very good. Alright, let's see here. We're going to discard an island holding a Wizard's Retort. Hopefully he doesn't have counter magic. Then we can interact. Okay, so this could be very good for us. If he has a counter spell or a Moment of Craving, I think he probably just wins the game. But if he can't interact with this, he's dead next turn. He's dead. We got him. That was very lucky for us, though. We probably... There's a lot of ways that game could have gone where we just lose. But going into game 2, Sleep's pretty useless, but we want our copies of Negate. Maybe Mistcloak Herald's weak, just because it doesn't have very many blockers. I'm not sure. Exclusion Mage definitely seems weak. As does Disperse. As a matter of fact, I think I'd rather have the Body. 16 and 16 is 32, 38. We need another card. I think having to choose between Disperse and Exclusive Mage, I think I'd rather have Exclusive Mage just because like our big Disperse target is going to be the Eldritch Reborn, and if you cast it again next turn, I have to sack another creature. It's just not good. Here we go into game 2. We're up a game, so we're in a pretty good spot. He's on the play, which means we're going to be very exposed to Moment of Craving. So let's see here. We got Mistcloak, Merfolk with Wizard's Retort. Merfolk Trickster is going to make Wizard's Retort only cost 2 mana. We're on the draw. We can use another land and potentially a Dive Down or a Curious Obsession, but this is a fine hand. Hopefully we can draw into some negates. Alright, land is great. We're just going to go Mistcloaked Herald and pass. Now, if he knows what he's doing, and if he has a Moment of Craving, he'll do it now. Nope, just Thought Eraser. That's strange. Oh, well, if he doesn't have the Moment of Craving, it's not that strange. Probably get the Wizard's Retort, I would imagine. Because if I had, say, a copy of Dive Down, which would give my creature hexproof, and then a copy of Curious Obsession, he would be in a lot of trouble. So I did draw the Dive Down, which isn't quite what we wanted. We would prefer to have a Curious Obsession here. But we'll just ride it. Flashing and Trickster at end of turn to have access to Wizard's Retort. Alright, this could get syncopated, but we're going to play into it anyway, I think. It wasn't syncopated, which is great news. Combat, attack, everybody. Now, normally we wouldn't play this Mistcloak Herald because we would want to overexpose ourselves, but with access to Wizard's Retort, and being able to cast it because we have a Trickster, I don't think we're too worried about... we're not too worried about Ritual of Suit, because we can counter it with Wizard's Retort, which is great. Maybe he tries to cast it and doesn't see that. That'd be really cool. But he knows I've got the retort, so I wonder what he's up to. The Hookologist, what's up, buddy? He's just going to pass the turn, I think. Maybe interact on upkeep. Nope, and I got a copy of Negate, so we're just going to come in. We got him on the good old 4-turn clock. He's got 5 cards in hand, so I can't imagine that's going to stay the case. But and we're definitely not going to be casting our Tempest Djinn, just because it's going to be super exposed if we do. Chemist's Insight. This is actually a fine card to negate, but I'm fearful that if I negate it, he will cast Ritual of Soot. We're going to let it resolve. So he would like to duress. We have to let him duress. We've got 2 counter spells up for Ritual of Suit. So if we counter it, he can just go land Ritual of Suit. I won't have enough mana to actually interact with it. I assume he's going to get Retort here. But he could just get the Djinn, but it was Retort. Okay. He has a Chemist's Insight in the graveyard, so he could definitely flash that back. Does he have a 5th land drop? He certainly does, but what would you want a mission briefing for? The other copy of Duress? I feel like we have to negate the mission briefing. And we will, in fact, negate the mission briefing. There's his 5th land. Now I get to go. Counterspell, please. That's not a counterspell. Alright, let's get in for 4. After this, it'll be a 2-turn clock. And if he Ritual of Suits, we can unload. We don't want to play any more creatures into a Ritual of Suit, which I'm assuming is what's going to happen next turn. He's probably a little fearful of me having drawn into another counterspell. The Eldest Reborn won't quite be enough to pull him out of the situation. He's on a pretty fast clock. So there's an Eldest Reborn. I will just discard, or sacrifice rather, a Mistcloaked Herald. Goodbye, Mistcloaked Herald. That brings my clock down to 3 turns, which is pretty good for him. He's just trying to get through my my clock, and that's a Merfolk Trickster, which is going to help the clock out a lot. So we're just going to come in, add him, bring him down to 5 life. Now, we could cast our Warkite Marauder here. He's only got 3 cards in hand, going up to 4. He can't like cast Chemist's Insight to try to find his copy of Ritual of Suit, provided he's playing it. But it's weird. Because if I flash in Merfolk Trickster, that's going to be a very good way to clock him. Warkite Marauder isn't very good in this matchup. I actually should have thought about that before. We're just going to pass the turn, discarding Warkite Marauder. Goodbye, Warkite Marauder. Let's see what he wants to do here. Because I can dive down interaction and then cast... That's a Palaka Worm. That's very bad for us. Let's see here. Yeah, that resolves. Can I Trickster it? Does that work? Oh, that doesn't work. That's unfortunate. But we did want to Trickster it anyway. I guess the trigger was already on the stack, so that wouldn't be how that works. Let's get in. And at this point, we want to cast Chart Course, hopefully draw a land and a counterspell. Nope, just land Night Veil Sprite. We just need to overcommit to the board at this point to try to play through this Palaka Worm. So here he's going to reanimate something. I got to imagine it's going to be Warkite Marauder. Yeah, that's probably the best thing he's got to reanimate. Another Palaka Worm would really fuck me up. Like, even here, we're in a really bad spot. Ooh, that's no good. Chemist's Insight, refuel on that hand. I don't think he can afford to come in with Palaka. Well, maybe he can now that he's at 9 life. Maybe he tries to clock me. I think I would have gone in there. So, I don't know. I think it's just Tempest Djinn pass. Let's swing in. See if he'll block with the Warkite Marauder. He does. Alright, let's go. Tempest Djinn, protecting it with Dive Down and pass the turn. Maybe he tries to like Vraska's Contempt here. That'd be great. Puts him on a 2-turn clock. The second he plays the second Palaka Worm, we're in trouble though. Duress. We'll dive down now. Do you have it? Do you have the interaction? He's got the interaction. We're gonna take that action. We're still not technically dead. He sees that he can't take the Mistcloaked Herald. I imagine he's got to start clocking me here. Yep. So I'm on a 2-turn clock at this point. There isn't a whole lot we can do. So it looks like we're going to be going to game 3. Retort, I suppose. Chemister's Insight. What we really need to draw here is, like, I think the only thing we can actually draw is Merfolk Trickster. And at this point, that's not even good enough. But we're not going to concede until we see what our draw is. That's not good enough. We're going to concede, go to game 3. On the play, we have a much better chance against this deck. Essence Scatter. I think we want to keep it just because Palakworm is such a problem. So we're just going to run it right back. Alright, Baozu. We need a stellar hand on the play with protection for my creatures, and we need him to not have a ton of interaction. These green-black matchups where they have a lot of interaction are generally kind of bad for me. As long as I have enough protection, it can be okay, but unless that's the case, we can be in a lot of trouble. So let's see here. Dive Down, Mystical Herald, Wizard's Retort. That's not quite enough. I'm really hesitant to go down, though, because I do have... We're going to keep it. This could be bad. But something... I don't know. This is probably a bad decision. But if we can draw a single copy of a stellar creature, like Merfolk Trickster, or a Curious Obsession, we're in a great spot. If he duresses on turn 1, that's bad. He doesn't. We have a Curious Obsession, so... That's what we call getting lucky, boys and girls. Let's go card advantage. Not another land. Well, I guess if we stop drawing lands after this, it could be good because we want our Djinns to be big, beefy boys. And that's blue and green, so he can't interact with that Mystical Herald. So I get another turn of just being allowed to do this, which is not in his best interest at all. Take action. Let me draw that card, boy. Alright, we can stop drawing cards at any point now. Or stop drawing islands at any point. Yeah, we're fine with the Radical Idea. We've got a Wizard's Retort, which is going to be very good here. I imagine his next turn could be Plaguecrafter. That could be very good. Although he has no access to black, so that's just game. Yeah, without being able to interact with the Mystical Herald, he's going to get out advantage very, very quickly, which is very bad for him. So, we got 2 wins. One. It was the first game we played a win or a loss. No, we have 2 wins. That's pretty good. Let's go for 3. Magician Vassallo. You are bronze 2? You're doing pretty well. I wonder what he's got built at bronze 2. The nice thing about these leagues is most of the decks are fairly competitive. I go first. I have Mystical Herald, Silent Storm Tamer, and Exclusion Mage. This is a fine hand. Again, 4 landers are rough. We have 21 lands, so math says we shouldn't draw into too many more lands. But if you ever played Magic the Gathering, you know it does sometimes happen. Especially in paper Magic. But it happens just as much here. Hopefully you're playing in a creature-based matchup where cards like Exclusion Mage are really powerful. Damn it, Gus, thank you. I was supposed to reload my Hookah. I fucked that up. I just want to play. Another land is not what we wanted to draw. Like I said, this just happens. Let's get in, smack him for 1, and then play out our Silent Storm Tamer. That's a Dimmer Guildgate. I assume he's playing a very interactive deck, making this Exclusive Mage much less good. Another land. I love it. We're just going to pass the turn and make him think we have a ton of interaction in our hand after we attack. See what he's got to say. Is he going to try to burn one of my fish out of the water? He's got to be thinking about it here. Just anticipate. Okay, that's fine. Passing again. Disperse. One of the cards we don't really want to see, but it beats the hell out of a 7th island. Lightning Strike the Siren Storm Tamer. This is probably a good use as Disperse as any. No, I think the game might go long enough where we can just allow it. So we got him on that 17 turn clock though. Let's end the turn and see what happens. Six cards in hand. Submerge Boneyard. So he doesn't have access to very good mana. It looks like he's playing a lot of Guild Gates and a lot of Boneyards. So he doesn't have any Shocklands or anything, which is pretty good. We don't want him to be able to develop his mana base too fast, especially when we're playing from so far behind. So we drew both copies of a card we really don't want anything to do with in this matchup. That said, if he's playing like Planeswalkers or something, it could be useful. And do we want to just play out the exclusive mage? No, we don't. At this point, we're not very favored to win this game. Yeah, we'll let the resolve. Yeah, we're not super favored to win this game. However, we're gonna keep playing to see what his deck's trying to do. Because had our hand been a little bit better, we didn't develop into like a third of the lands in our library, like that, we'd be in a much better spot. So let's see where he's going. There's a Storm Tamer. That's not the worst thing in the world. Let's just play out the Storm Tamer. You would like to sabotage the Storm Tamer. That's interesting. Let's just play out the Exclusion Mage. Maybe we can draw a Curious Obsession next turn. Cast out. Let's disperse it. Put it back in my hand. I just tempo played myself, which is usually very bad. But here we're so low on resources. Nicol Bolas the Ravager is very bad for us. Discard disperse. Alright, let's make him recast the Nicol Bolas. And then when he goes to recast, next turn we'll flash on the Trickster. What else do you got? Land, shock. We are so far out of favor, we're just going to try it. Okay, sure, Chemistry's Insight. Show me an Exclusion Mage. Oh, just chart a horse. So the Trickster's pretty good, because on his upkeep we are going to flash in Merfolk Trickster, taking away his Nicol Bolas' ability to do anything. He might have a counterspell, which pretty much just puts us to dead. But let's not allow his Nicol Bolas to attack or flip. He's going to shock our Trickster, that's fine. We don't necessarily care about that. We probably should have played the Storm Tamer last turn. That was a bit of a misplay, because that could have put us in a really good spot. But I'm not super awesome at this deck quite yet. Alright, let's let him draw. Ooh, that's not very good. Do we have any hopeful way out of this? No, we are just going to go to game 3. Or was it 2? I think we won game 2. I'm not sure. Yep, game 2. So I lost game 1. Let's bring in all of our negates. We actually like Essence Scatter. Disperse is just so bad here. All of his creatures have Enter the Battlefield triggers. And Nightville Sprite also feels like not the best card. Yeah. Yeah, even if we had cast that Siren Storm Tamer, I don't think it would have been good still. That Doom Whisper really was going to mess us up. So he's still siding his sideboard. Probably because he has an actual 15-card sideboard, which I currently don't have access to. Need more cards. Did I open a Syncopate? If I did, I need to go put that in my deck. Alright. Let's see if we can get this one. We need to go fast. I need to stop keeping really shoddy hands. Show me a good one. Storm Tamer, Essence Scatter, Jin. This is fine. Good land, spell spread. Could develop well. We'd like to hit one more land and then like 2 relevant spells like Curious Obsession, Dive Down even. Any number of Tricksters would just be outstanding. So he's deciding to keep for mulligan. He's waiting a pretty long time, so it's probably a hard decision for him. Yeah, I just realized my delay is pretty far back. Right now I'm watching myself look at my opening hand, although my opponent's taking forever. If he takes too long, there we go. He's going to keep it. So we're just going to go Storm Tamer and pass. And our Storm Tamers are going to do a good job of protecting Tempest Jin. So here we want to see a Negate or a Wizard's Retort. What are we doing, dude? Hello. Okay. We didn't really need another Siren Storm Tamer, although, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll play another one out. And we'll stop playing Tamers after that, just watching out for Ritual of Suit. We've been playing against a lot of the controlling decks, which can be a rougher matchup. If I had access to my full sideboard, it would be much less rough, but we don't have that right now. So we're just going to pass. So that's fine. Let's get in with the boys. And we'll just pass it. No reason to overextend with multiple Siren Storm Tamers. Yeah, that resolves. A copy of Curious Obsession would be outstanding here. Merfolk Trickster ain't bad. No, he's totally got access to Ritual Suit next turn. I might be playing around this card a little too hard, but I really don't want to just have my Tempest Jin Ritual along with my 2 Siren Storm Tamers. Let's go ahead and play out a Trickster. Bring him down to a 4-turn clock. I have to imagine if he has a Sabotage or an Essence Scatter, he wants to use it here. He's thinking about it pretty hard. Maybe he's afraid of like a Curious Obsession at my next turn. Or maybe he doesn't have very many outs to something like a Tempest Jin right now. That could be a good sign. Although I don't know if I buy into that just because he's waiting on this Merfolk Trickster. If he doesn't make a decision soon, the clock's going to start though. Okay, another Trickster. Not the worst thing we've seen all day. Siren Storm Tamers are going to stop him from being able to gain a ton of life. So we will just activate this thing's ability. Not a chance. Does he have a shock? He has a shock. We've got another Storm Tamer, so we're going to do both. Alright, so we're going to get in for 2. That puts us pretty far behind, though. So we could just play a Siren Storm Tamer out here, but I think we're just going to try to play off the back of the Merfolk Trickster, especially if he tries to play a Nicol Bolas next turn. Being able to Essence Scatter, that would just be outstanding. He wants to shock. How strange. We're going to resolve the shock. He's doing a very good job at dancing around all of our things that we can do. Let's try it. So he did not have any interaction for that. We're just going to come out with it. And we're not going to be getting around a whole lot. Like, Ritual of Suit's going to beat the shit out of us anyway. So we're going to Tempest Djinn and just hope he doesn't have it. Although if he had it, he probably would have slammed it at this point. We'll see. Okay. So he's going to kill the Siren Storm Tamer. Okay. Well, let's go to Pound Town. Let's see what he's got. Nikki B. Hopefully that would be great for us if he just cast Nicol Bolas. Vraska's Contempt is not so good. So he's sitting much prettier now. Ooh. Just way too much interaction. Hopefully he's sitting on a Nicol Bolas or something right here that he's waiting to cast. More interaction. Alright, let's keep throwing down these cards, see if we can run them out of interaction. Don't play Nicol Bolas. No, do play Nicol Bolas. We're going to play a Plague Crafter. Alright, 1 card left in hand. He's dead. We got that one. Getting ready for game 3. Yeah, our deck's configured exactly the way we need it to be right now. Yeah, this deck is pretty hard to pilot, especially against an opponent with as much interaction as mine has. Dive Down is at a premium in this matchup. If I could play 8, I would. Alright, let's see what we got for an opener. Tamer, Negate, Marauder, Retort. Absolutely. 2 creatures, 2 pieces of interaction. That's exactly where we want to be. Drawing into a Curious Obsession would be stellar. As the game develops, we'd like to see a few Tricksters. You know, I wouldn't even mind my copy of Night Veil Sprite that I have left in my deck. I think I have left in my deck. They're deciding pretty hard whether they're going to keep or mull. This is almost a snap keep for me. This deck does have some pretty busted opening hands. This is not one of them. He mulled the 6, which is decent news. Although it doesn't really mean anything, except for he's on the play, so he's not going to have nearly as much interaction. Scratch to the bottom. Those are both really good things. A little swamp action. How about a Siren Storm Tamer? Try to get that retort going for turn 2. I haven't decided yet. There's a chance maybe you play it off the back burner for a turn, but that would just put me too far behind, I think. So shields up. He probably wants to anticipate. He's probably thinking about Moment of Craving, but he probably wants to just anticipate. He might also just want a Moment of Craving end of turn since I'm not playing anything. Although I think I will... No, do we negate a cast down? That one's hard. Next turn I can play Platecrafter. I think we do. Yeah, I think we're fine with that. Could have been a misplay. I'm going to need more time with the deck to decide whether or not that was the route I wanted to take. Platecrafter, maybe? Make me sack the Siren Storm Tamer? Passing can't be good for him. A little Shiv and Fire action. Alright, so we'll get that going. No reason to overexpose. We're just going to pass the turn holding up Wizard's Retort. He might stop making land drops pretty soon, just because he's so low on cards, which is very good for us. We're going to wait another turn to drop the Warcape Marauder, just because we want to be able to have Wizard's Retort as backup. Alright, he's making his land drops, which is good and bad, I suppose. Alright, so Siren Storm Tamer, about the best thing we could ask for. Let's try to cast that. And then being able to back up this Warcape Marauder with Wizard's Retort is pretty good. I'm going to try to cast the Marauder as well. Because he probably has a piece of single target removal in his hand. And I need to let him kill whatever he targets so I can hold up Wizard's Retort. I suppose unless he targets the Storm Tamer. Chemister's Insight. It's going to draw him a bunch of cards. I'm still going to let it resolve. At this point, not even Ritual of Suit brings him out of getting clocked. Probably with Curious Obsession next turn. He wants to Lightning Strike. There's a decent chance we just want to Wizard's Retort that. Just because if he gets rid of the Siren Storm Tamer, then he can single target remove my other creature. Yeah. He's got access to 4 mana now. Let's see what it does. That's so weird. It's so weird that he's responding with Chemister's Insight. It is what it is, so we're going to get to keep our creatures for the next turn at least. Let's just put Curious Obsession on the creature we can protect. Get in for 4. Draw a card. Hopefully it's a counterspell. We did not want it to be another island at all. Just endless amounts of interaction. It's not good. It's very bad for us. We probably lose this game at this point. I mean, Tempest Djinn. I mean, you either have it or you don't. Chemister's Insight main phase, probably. Try to deal with this Tempest Djinn ahead of time. Oh, that's so bad. He's gonna pay 2 life. There's almost, like, our ways out of this are, we have to draw, like, very perfectly into, like, at this point it almost has to be, like, Charter Course. We could draw a Curious Obsession. If you can't interact with it, then draw a Charter Course off of Curious Obsession. Playing a Djinn, that could get us out of this, but probably not still. Yeah, it's just getting too far away at this point. Why are you paying 2 life here? Oh, maybe to try to get like a good target off of the Doom Whisperer. Because he's got me on a pretty strict return clock. Did we get anything relevant? Not really. Island. Give me an island. I know you're going to do it, deck. It's not good. I got to imagine he's going to take, yeah, Stein Storm Tamer. So I can't interact with this Doom Whisperer. I mean, we have no hope of getting out of this, but let's just chart a course now. Play it out to the bitter end. That's interesting. Put a stop on his upkeep. See if I can trick him into letting me tap down his Doom Whisperer. Yikes. That's just no good. And I don't think there's any way he lets us tap down his Doom Whisperer. Yeah, that's just, let me see. Eldritch Moment of Craving. Spit Flame. Shock. Lava Coil, Lightning Strike, Sheet of Fire, Cast Down. That's just too much single target removal for me to be able to handle. Sack the Storm Tamer. Yeah, that'll do it. So he got away with that one. We won a couple games, that's pretty good. It's a bummer we ran into so much single target removal in those games. It's just very bad for us. Let's see what we get. 1,000 coins, it's enough to run it back. Something we didn't need, something we didn't need. Something we honestly might play at some point. So we'll play in that. And real quick, before I sign off, wait, do I have packs? Why do I have packs open? Oh, I have a pack. Let's open the pack real quick. Common wild card, pretty good. We actually wanted that. And we don't care about that. Okay. Let's go to decks. I'll just do this real quick live. I'm going to do the last bit of editing to this deck that I want to do. So I've got a common wild card, 4 rares, and 3 mythic rare wild cards. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I have a copy of Syncopate. I do. We want that in the sideboard. And then... maybe just Disdainful Stroke? Is it not how you spell that? I just think that's straight up not how you spell that. We will search manually. Oh, maybe I have... yeah, not collected as well. There we go. There it is. Is this printed at common? It's printed at common. We probably just want one of these for the sideboard. So we'll go down here. Where did it go? Where are you, Distasteful Stroke? There it is. We're just going to pop that right in there. Building the sideboard slowly but surely. Alright, neat. So we got some stuff done. Alrighty, guys, it was my first Gamecast. Sorry if it was a little bit glitchy. It was my first time trying it. But that is okay. Hopefully you can forgive me. And I think I'm going to sign off for now, just because it's time for me to go do some stuff with my day. I got to do some stuff for Pipedreamhookah's channel. I just released a new video. If anyone wants to watch it, it's on Bracken's Pack Mats, which is a product I really like. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast we're doing with Christian Pennington from over at Hookah Chef. So that should be fun. But that said, let's see if Adrian can figure out how to stop a live stream, because normally Matt runs these. How do you do it? Oh yeah, that'll probably do it. Alright everybody, happy smoking. Sorry there wasn't as much hookah in this video. I was a little bit obsessive playing my deck. Bye-bye.